continuing back. Okay, so the next is, see the problem with the sequential relationship I was about to tell. Okay, this is what we call a sequential relationship. In English word, what does that mean? One after the other. Okay, one after the other. So there is a problem there. You know what is the problem? Because the next phase can start only when the previous phase is complete. Do you agree? Common sense. Because there is a timeline. Okay, but what is the drawback of that? It will not provide an option for shortening the project schedule. You cannot squeeze the project timeline because of it. Is that clear? But what is the benefit here? It reduces the level of uncertainty. Because we are waiting patiently for one to get over and then only moving to the next. So it is reducing the level of uncertainty. Is that clear, guys, everyone? That's it. Okay. So how to overcome that? Okay, that's when we have overlapping relationship. Okay, see here, overlapping relationship means what? It goes like this. Okay, where you take the activities of the phase 2 before even getting the gate 1 approval. Okay, so there is a problem there. What is the problem? Any guesses? If you do like this, what is the problem?
Certainty will reduce.
Which one will?
Level of certainty will reduce.
Uncertainty will increase. Okay, or it will increase the level of risk. Okay, risk factor may increase. Okay, and then sometimes, no, in the gate review they tell some changes. Then you may have to go back and do some rework. That is also possible. Okay, so we should not do that. Sometimes it may result in rework. Sometimes it may result in increasing the level of risk. Okay, so that is what is this overlapping relationship. Okay, now in this juncture, I want to discuss with you guys a topic called as schedule compression technique. This is not there in the slides. Please make a note of it. This is not there in the slides. Okay, so there are 2 schedule compression techniques. Okay, anyone knows about those?
I think crashing and fast tracking.
Is it crashing and fast tracking?
Exactly. Okay, crashing and fast tracking. Okay, these are the 2 schedule compression techniques. Okay, so first I will start with crashing. Okay, so crashing means what? Adding more resources. When you add more resources to the team, okay, you can try to speed up the completion of activities. That is what we call as crashing. Okay, but when you do this crashing, definitely project cost will increase because we are trying to finish the activities early by employing more people, more resources, more equipments, whatever. Okay, so the cost will increase. That is what we call as crashing. Okay, and what about fast tracking? Fast tracking is what you saw here just now. Okay, this is what is fast tracking. Okay, you are taking a calculated risk of trying to do the subsequent activities, assuming that all my activities will get over properly. Is that clear? You are taking a risk of doing the next set of activities. Okay, that is what we call as fast tracking. So imagine I'm from the testing team. Okay, as part of testing, we are supposed to complete, let's say, 100 hours of testing. Some machine, you have to run it for 100 hours. Okay, but due to a timeline pressure, the project team decides that we'll not do 100 hours, we'll do 30 hours, and then we'll move to the next step. Okay, in the meantime, let the remaining hours continue, but we'll stop and then continue with the next practice. Like the team is taking a calculated risk. Is that clear? But what if at the 75th hour there is a issue being reported? Then it's a problem. Is that clear? So that is what is fast tracking. So what is the problem of fast tracking? It increases the level of risk. Risk will increase. Please note. Risk will increase and rework will also increase. Will I cannot tell. Rework may increase. Is that clear? Risk may increase. Defect may increase. Defect may increase. These are the repercussions. Is that clear? So there are 2 schedule compression techniques: crashing and fast tracking. This is not there in the slide. Please note it down. Okay. One more thing I want to tell. Crashing means simply adding the resources. Okay, but you cannot apply crashing everywhere. Wherever there is a possibility of adding the resources, only we can add. No. For example, this batch, I am there as a trainer. Okay. Now this is a 3-week session. Okay. Just by adding one more trainer, can we reduce the timeline? No. There are some activities which will take its due course of time. Okay, for example, the gestation period, okay, the delivery period for a baby is by a mother is 10 months. Okay, that doesn't mean that okay, one mother is 10 months, no? So let's have two mothers so that we can get the baby delivered in 5 months. Like that, if a project manager starts thinking, it will not work. Is that clear? So crashing is not everywhere applicable. Okay, and also there is one more law called as a law of diminishing returns. Okay, so this is not there for the PMP, just telling. Okay, law of diminishing returns. Okay, as per that law, as you keep adding resources, there is a point beyond which you will see that the productivity will not improve. Is that clear? Let's say you are getting a work done by 10 people. Okay, you are assuming that if I add 5 more people, the work will be done faster. But if you add further more people, the productivity will not increase beyond a point. Okay, that is called as law of diminishing return. Okay, so you have to check the possibility of crashing always. It's not always possible. Okay, any questions, anyone? Clear? Please feel free to speak up.
This schedule compression technique is applicable in both methodology of agile and a predictive.
See, that is the problem here. I would say this whole thing is applicable only in predictive. Okay, because there we don't have that much. Again, my point is same only. We don't have that much of visibility. Okay, a 1 year, 6 year project like that, and all, we don't have that much visibility. So, schedule compression technique is only when you have a very elongated schedule and then you work upon. Okay, so I would say this is applicable only in predictive. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But the mindset is applicable everywhere. For example, crashing, no? When you add more resources, this is there in operations, this is there in agile, this is there in predictive also. Common sense, no? When you are ready to put more people, you will get the work done faster. Just in our house also, if I have one maid, she will take 2 hours. But if I have 2 maids, okay, then it will get over in 1 hour. Like that, I'm assuming. Okay, that is what is crashing. That mindset is available everywhere. Okay. So Hari have put something on the chat. Okay, it may not happen in agile because each sprint may carry out compression at their level. Okay, to compress schedules wherever required. Okay, but there is a difference in opinion. What I want to tell here. Okay, Hari, the point is that in sprint we don't compress the schedule. That is what I'm trying to tell, guys. Please check the chat what Hari have typed and think in a different way. We don't compress the schedule. The schedule will remain same. Please understand. Whatever the team is supposed to do, that may increase. Okay. Initially, this much was the scope of work. But what happened because of schedule pressure, we may be adding more. But the 3 week will remain 3 week only. Okay, that is what I am again telling guys. Remember the concept of time boxing. That is very important. Okay. In Agile, particularly in Scrum teams, we just go by the sprint. Okay. Sprint duration cannot be altered in the middle. Okay. Only thing is, if you want to load, you can add more stories, okay, more tasks to the sprint. Okay, we don't disturb the duration of the sprint. We don't compress the duration. Okay, it doesn't work like that in Agile. Okay, that's why there are 2 different mindsets. Okay. Okay. So moving on further.